Dalhousie's study is very, very difficult or extensive. I was paying so many dollars, so many fees, and I was doing online course. So it was, I felt that rather than I should have joined for some Udemy course. You can work 40 hours as a student visa, and my juniors, and they are struggling a lot here. People pay more attention to the experience. Dalhousie will not help you getting internship. I think 1 year of gap will not matter in long run.
Hello everyone, welcome to College Dunia Study Abroad. I am Anshika and today we're going to talk with Harit Patwa, who's completed his Masters from Dalhousie University, Canada, and he did his Masters in Applied Computer Science. Hi Harit, welcome to the channel.
Hello, hi Vanshika, nice to meet you.
Same here. So as we know that you've completed your Masters and now you're working full-time, can you just talk about your journey, how some of your background?
Yeah, sure. So for me, I completed my bachelor's in India in 2019. After that, I had a confusion. Where should I go? Just to go US or Canada? So for that, I give GRE and IELTS both. And due to some H-1B uncertainty, I decided to go choose the Canada instead of US because so many of my friends went to US. So, but yeah, I chose Canada, and in Canada there are not so many options for the university. As you know, there are only 20 university in Canada.
Yeah.
So out of them I have applied 5 university and I got acceptance into 3 universities and I chose the best one, which I got. And
That's great.
So
Can you
for
talk about-
GRE, for GRE I had scored 313, but it's not relevant for Canada, so it's not needed.
Makes sense.
And for IELTS, even if you score 7, even though I scored 7.5, but 7 is also fine. So 7.5, and yeah, that's it. And for Dalhousie University, you have to give one interview before they will accept you to the university. So it will be around 45 minutes long interview. And they will just ask you basic questions regarding your bachelor's. Some basic questions like do you know programming? They just want to know that you are able, you actually did your bachelor's. They want to know some questions in computer networks, some routing algorithms. They might ask you. Sometimes they'll ask you what is race condition, operating system questions, just the basic interview questions they'll ask you. And once you are good, after 10 to 15 days, they'll let you know that they are going forward with your application or not. Yeah. So that was the process to get into Dalhousie. So, yeah.
So you said you graduated in 2019.
19, yeah, and I started in 2021. It's because of COVID. Yeah, yeah, that was amazing.
So
and I
you
don't
took some break from 19 to 21. You were just on break.
In 2019 till 2019 May till 2019 December, I did internship at Microsoft, and after that, what happened was initially my plan was to start from 2020, but due to COVID, I couldn't start it. Although I got the admission for 2020 September, but I deferred it because I don't wanted to do it online because
there were a lot of it was not even sure how COVID would spread and the impact of it.
Yeah, so that's why I deferred my admission for 2020 and I didn't I didn't start it in 2020 and I started in January 2021. So yeah.
Oh, you came in spring. Okay.
So, I think 1 year of gap will not matter in long run, but make sure that you have a good projects. At the time, if you just do something relevant to computer science, so you can say in your SOP or something that it will help you. Yeah.
So you said that you applied to, I think, 3 universities.
Actually, I applied into 5, but I got into 3. Yeah.
Okay. So what universities did you apply to? And
in Canada, application fee is just $100, and I applied into 5 university. I actually don't know the names of all of them, but I'll try my best. So first is Dalhousie University, second one was Concordia, third one was University of Waterloo, then University of Windsor, and the University of Regina. So I got into Dalhousie, then Regina and Windsor. Got rejection from Waterloo and Concordia. So in those 2 universities, I got rejection and got into Dalhousie, Windsor, and Regina. But if you consider the master program of Dalhousie, it was much better compared to those two universities. So I chose the Dalhousie.
Okay, so you were applying for the same program. I mean, in all these universities, you
Yeah,
applied.
Master of Computer Science or Master of Applied Computer Science, because I have done some research, and in Canada, I mean, applied means more relevant to industry, and if there is no applied, then it is like you will be doing research, more research extensive courses.
Research,
If
it's
you're
more
just
like.
computer science.
So for the course we were talking about, you said that applied is more course based and not research focused. So I wanted to know what was the number of courses you had to complete. Did you have any projects like which you needed to complete it?
So many projects, so many assignments. I mean, yeah. So many countless nights of. I had to stay awake to complete all of this. So yeah. In first term in Dalhousie, what happens? If you are a good in interview, then you will be lucky, and you don't have to do a one prerequisite course. One prerequisite course. It's called software development concepts. Since my interview didn't went that well, that's what I feel. I'm not sure how my interview went, or even though they gave me admission, but I had to do one prerequisite course. So it's a software development concepts course, and it had a six number of credits. Usually in one term you need to have nine. You need to take 3 courses, or you need to complete 9 credits in one term.
Got it.
So yeah, actually there were 4 terms where I have to study. So I started in January 2021, and till May I was a student. And from May I started my internship. From May to September I did my internship. Then I went back to India to meet my parents, and for 1 month I was in India. And then because I took joining date little bit later in October, so that I can meet my parents, and in October I started here. So
So you completed your course in like 3 semesters, you mean?
in one semester you have to take 3 courses, but
I mean, how did you take the course? I mean, did you complete your masters in 1.5 years or 1 year?
Yeah, so my masters including internship, it's a 20-month thing. But if you but for studying it was 12 months. So 12 months, sorry 16 months of studying, and
Then
4 months of
4
internship.
months of interning.
Yeah. Yeah, but it totally depends on you. I mean, what I'm trying to say is some people are not getting prerequisite course. So for them, it will be only 12 months of study and then 4 months of internship. So for them, 16 months, entire thing. But for me, since I had a one prerequisite course, so for me it was 20 months. Yeah.
So that course will be more like the basic concepts. Something like DS algo, or it's more into
DS
software?
algo, completely DS algo. I mean, if you see the lead code medium problems, all of the 5 assignments on that subject were relevant to the medium lead code problems. So that was a prerequisite. They just wanted to enhance our coding skills. That's why they gave.
I think it's good to have a course of this sort because people can learn more about coding and how they can crack interviews and work for their internships.
Yeah, that's true. Because what I felt is, if you are a continuation student, so if you graduated in 2020, or just graduated, then Dalhousie haven't given that prerequisite course. But in my university, there were people who had a 4 or 5 years of experience, so they wanted us to brush up our skills. That's why some people may get it, some people don't get it. So it was just a luck based, not luck based. How do you perform in your interview? That's how.
Got it. So, talking about some of the expenses you had at the university, how did the total education cost you, and did you do any part times?
Yeah, all right. So for me, first year's fee was 28,000 Canadian dollars, right? And for second year, fees was $14,000. So it was around $40,000 to $42,000 for entire course, right? And for the part-time part, Dalhousie's study is very, very difficult or extensive, I would say. For me, at least, it was, because I had no prior experience, no industry experience. I just did my bachelor's and then I came here. So everything was different for me. So I would say people are doing part-time a lot. In Canada, you can work for 20 hours. Initially, at our time, it was 20 hours, but right now, you can work more than 20 hours.
Okay.
But
Even on a student visa, you can work more than 20 hours? Okay.
Yeah, right now you can work 40 hours as a student visa, and so you can work. But at that time, our time, it was 20 hours. So in October, November, I worked for one to part-time jobs. There are many options. You can go to many Indian restaurants. You can work there. So, and besides that, you can go to Subway, or even if you are good enough, you can get into Dalhousie. I mean, there are so many jobs. I mean, you get into library, you get into gym. So there are so many options. You can work in
So you
Dalhousie.
can work like on campus, off campus,
Yeah.
anything works as long
Yeah.
as you don't exceed the time limit they have for you.
Yeah, so for 2 months, I did my I did part-time jobs, but from next year I got TA-ship, so things become very easy for me. So yeah.
So yeah, for the TA, do they pay your fee or it's just they pay you a monthly stipend, and
Uh,
how much
I
was
wish the system would have been similar, just like US, where you get benefits of half of the fees will be deducted. But in Canada, they'll just give you $32 right now, $32 per hour, and you just have to conduct labs and support the professor and clear the doubts of the students. So that's what I did for my TA-ship. Yeah. And they I think 32 for TA-ship and 29 for marking. So
Okay.
that was.
Yeah, I mean not bad per hour.
Yeah.
It's a good.
But we still have to pay the entire fee, right, for that term.
Yeah. So yeah, talking about your expenses that you incurred while living, how is the how much is the rent? How much do you pay for groceries in general?
Yeah, so at that time, I would say I was lucky because at that time things were cheaper. Right now, I cannot imagine because I'm seeing my juniors and they are struggling a lot. And so I'll tell you, for me, I had to study 4 months online. Sorry, 8 months online because I started in January 2021, but direct flights from India to Canada were banned at that time. So I was in India for 10 months. So there was no expense at all. I was just studying. But I went to Canada in October in Halifax City. So in Halifax, I would say if you are having $1,000 a month, you can manage your. I can say you can manage your rent plus your groceries and yeah, your daily expenses like transport and everything. So yeah, it was around 1,000 or 111. I mean, in $1,100.
Yeah.
So for me, this was good for us. But right now, I have heard from many students that it is around 1,500 per month because things are very expensive everywhere. Not in entire Canada, yeah, not in Halifax, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you did your semester while you were in India. So did you have any problems? Were the classes synchronous, asynchronous? Could you see them anytime or how did?
Yeah, I mean, in online time, yeah, I felt little bit off because I was paying so many dollars. I mean, so many fees, and I was doing online course. So it was. I mean, I felt that rather than I should have joined for some Udemy course. Initially, I felt that, but the assignments were very extensive. So I mean, I mean, it's because of COVID. Otherwise, I would have been here. So I don't mind studying online, but yeah, the timing was the issue for some professors. They were ready to take the course. I mean, they were ready to upload the lectures for any time,
Recording.
and for some professors they only conduct the lecture at around 3 a.m. of the Indian time. So I had to stay awake for some. I mean, it was only one course where I had to stay awake, but otherwise it was fine.
So talking about the courses, what courses did you have? Like, can you
Alright.
select from any course or you just have to select from computer science stream? And then what were the major courses that you took?
So for me, I took in first term I took software development concepts and communication skills. Both of them were mandatory courses for us. We need to take it. But and for next term you can take. There is a in our Dalhousie's portal there are so many options you can choose from it. So for second term I choose advanced software development concepts, data warehousing, data management, and advanced web development. In second term I chose those subjects. In third sem I wanted something little bit easier because all of the hard work was done. So in that term I chose serverless data processing, then advanced cloud computing, and yeah, and there was one subject called advanced computer networks. So I chose that subject. So in the third term I chose those subjects, and in the fourth term, which is my last term, in that term I chose applied programming comprehension and network security because at that time we all were hunting for internship.
Yeah.
And we wanted to have some easier courses so that we can focus on interviews.
Yeah.
So that's why we chose easier subjects in last term. But there are plenty of options you can choose from, and I yeah, that's how it was.
Yeah, so that's great. I mean, you covered courses from different domains, from cloud, from data, from software engineering. A lot
Mm,
of things were covered. Yeah,
mm,
talking about the internship that you just mentioned. So,
mm.
when do you start
Yeah.
like preparing for the internship, and where did you intern? How much did they pay? How was your experience?
Yeah, so for internship, I did it in the TD Bank. My role was business system analyst. Uh, I tried to get a software development internship, but at that time, I was not able to find it, and that's why I took this internship. I mean, it was already 3 months past. I mean, 90 days were over, and we had only 4 months to find the internship because if you don't start internship in the May term, I mean the in the fifth term, then you might have to do a project with the professor, and I don't want it to go to that part because if you do the project with the professor in the and after your project you will get the degree, but you won't get the Canadian experience. And here, people pay more attention to the experience.
Yeah.
Internship how important
I
it is.
mean, for jobs, it's really important to have an internship. It gives you the experience and the exposure how industries work in.
Yeah, so that's why I chose the business system analyst role at the TD Bank. It was 4 months of internship. I started it in on 2nd May and I completed on 29th of August. And the pay was $32 an hour.
Okay. So you could work 40 hours per week as per
Yeah,
the guidelines.
40 hours per week. And I mean, I can work any hours because in my co-op term I can work no matter how many hours. But yeah, 40 hours is fine. Well,
Okay.
I mean, TD Bank also, I mean, in North America in general, people work 40 hours.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. So as a business analyst, what technologies did you use? What was your major projects that you did?
In TD Bank, we were mostly doing presentation, so I did not had, I would say, not so much not so much of experience, and I would say it was just a 4 month thing. So I would say not that much projects I completed in TD Bank. We were doing data analysis. They had some internal tools. We followed those tools, and we were generating the report, and we are submitting to the team, and we create the presentation, and our tech lead will give the presentation. That's how it went.
Okay, I mean, not so technical, but yeah, still you get the
But
experience.
at least I got chance to do lead code in that time. So yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that's good. At least you honed your skills and
yeah,
prepared for a full-time job.
full time job. Yeah, that's fine.
So talking about full times, you're working currently at Amazon. You said that you also got a full-time offer from TD Bank. How did
Mhm.
it go? How did you grab this full-time offer?
Uh, Actually, before joining to TD Bank, I was already preparing for Amazon and I was in last stage. But in university, there is some deadline to choose the internship employer. So I had to choose, and at that time I had, I think, 2 or 3 offers, but I thought this one is the best offer. So I chose the TD Bank. But after 10 days, I got the offer from Amazon as well. But I couldn't accept, I mean, I couldn't change, I mean, I couldn't change my employer,
Yeah.
and since it has been already locked in, so I had to do my internship from TD Bank. And for the Amazon part, I would say just to lead code, and that's how, I mean, you know it, right?
Yeah. So you're working as a software development engineer,
Development engineer, SD1. Yeah.
SD1. Okay, that's great. So what's the average pay of in Canada, like these big companies
uh,
pay, I mean, per
yeah,
month?
I mean, I started in 2022, so pay will differ right now, but in 2022 it was around $113. 113
Okay.
100. You want my total? Okay, all right, so I'll
I'm just
just break.
talking about like just a number. We don't want the exact numbers, but just an
Okay.
approximation.
All right. So for base pay, if you consider, it's around 110K to 120K. It's between that, and joining bonus will be 35 to 40K. It will be like this. So it's around 145K or thing something. Yeah,
Got
it was like this, and yeah, that's it. And some RSUs, as you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will be knowing you since you will be doing full time. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, talking about you got a lot of internship offers, it seems, and full-time job also you got on time. I wanted to know how the university helps in grabbing such offers. Are there any career fairs happening?
That makes sense. Yeah, for us, internship hunting was a little bit easier compared to full time, because in internship, Dalhousie has so many affiliations with so many Canadian companies. They have affiliation with RBC, TD, then BMO, and all of these and especially CRA. CRA stands for Canada Revenue Agency. So these company will take around 5 to 7 students from our university. I mean, each company. So getting internship, it was quite easier because Dalhousie is a reputed university in I would say in Canada. So yeah, so Dalhousie will not help you getting internship, but there is a portal at our university where so many listings will come. So it is exclusive to Dalhousie students. So in a way, we can say that Dalhousie is hunting for us, but
Yeah.
you have to give the interview and just crack it by your own.
I
But
mean, they have all the platforms for you where you can
yeah,
present to the
yeah,
like
that was the thing.
employers and talk to them.
And besides that, they will I mean, in first term there was a course, there was a subject called communicating computer science idea. So in that subject, they will teach you how to make a good resume, what North American employers are looking for, how to how to brush up your interview skills. And there's a one mandatory course where, in our third term, which all of the students have to take. It's called internship prep course. It is just it doesn't have any credit, but you just have to submit your resume, so the peers will review it, so that you will get some feedback from the Dell alumni. I mean, my seniors, they will review it, and they'll say you that these are the mistakes, just correct it. And yeah, that's how it was. So internship prep, and after that, yeah.
It's really helpful to have someone see your resume, tell you your mistakes, and having it compulsory also puts everybody to force them to
Yeah, I
submit
mean,
their resume.
just to make a good resume, I mean, just cover letter and resume, both of the things will be, I mean, reviewed by our professor, and you will get marks based on that. So yeah, it's a matter.
That's
So everybody wants to score good, so that's why they'll create good resume, and it eventually it will pay them well. I mean, yeah, it will help them to get a job. Yeah, so yeah.
for sure. So talking about some experiences at the university, how was your, I mean, most of your student life was back in India, but still that whatever time you got to spend in
Uh,
Canada at your university, how was your experience there?
Uh, I would say, but it was good. I mean, initially it was tough when I came here. I mean, for house hunting to finding a part-time job, it was difficult. And I mean, in Canada, there is a concept called GIC. So you will get some fixed amount, like $600 or $700 per month, and you have to manage everything in those $700. So before you get the part-time job, and you come into Canada, so you don't get the part-time job straight away. So it will be like 1 month of hunting, and then you'll get the part-time job. So you need to manage your expenses well in that time, and once you get the part-time job, things will be easier. But I would not recommend personally to do part-time, because if you are doing it from colleges, it's fine, you will be able to have time. But in university, there will be 3 courses and so many, I mean, if at any day I check my Outlook, there will be 2 or 3 deadlines to submit assignments and all. So yeah, I mean, it depends on person to person. Some people do the part-time. So yeah, so for part-time part, it was difficult to manage studies and part-time together. But if you score really well in some subjects and apply for TA-ship, and once you get the TA-ship, things will be much
Life is
easier. I
easier.
mean,
Yeah. Life is easier when you get something on campus, and it's easier when it aligns with your course that you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I studied advanced software development concepts, and I got the internship. I got the TA-ship in advanced software development concepts, and another one was advanced cloud computing. So I got TA-ship in both of these subjects. So yeah.
It would be easier if you
Yeah,
study.
because I have studied those subjects, and there is nothing which I don't know about those subjects, because the professor will be teaching the same thing again, and we already know the details. Yeah. So,
Talking about some community, like how many Indians do you have there? Do you have a community, or it's just some minority of Indians? What's the
So in Halifax, if you are doing bachelor's, most of the students will be Canadians. But if you are doing masters, and especially applied computer science, most people will be from India. So in our class, our strength was 120 students. Out of them, I would say, right now in our batch, I would say 2 or 3 students are from Canada, or some Nigeria, or somewhere from China, but 118 students will be from India. So it's common. But right now,
computer science is a magnet for Indian students everywhere.
Yeah. Right now, in after our batch, I mean, all of the students are Indians.
Oh.
No Canadians at all. So
Then you wouldn't have any problem celebrating festivals like Diwali or maybe
yeah,
Holi.
we celebrated Holi really well. I wish I could show you the photos, but yeah.
Sure,
Yeah,
probably
so
send it.
Diwali is celebrated pretty well. I was literally new because I came in October,
Yes.
and Diwali was in November. I mean, at that time it was 30 October, Diwali day.
Mhm.
Not 30, but I think 12th November or something. So I was relatively new, but we celebrated it. I mean, pretty well because I mean, all of my roommates were Indian, and yeah, I mean, we live in one apartment called Park Victoria, and in that apartment, most of the students are from Dalhousie and they are doing masters. So you will make good community. I mean, you will make some good friends, and yeah, you can enjoy festivals
It
like
shouldn't be a
Diwali.
problem for people to shift to a new country because there are a lot of Indians. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Same for me.
that's great. So yeah, do you have any advice or any suggestions for people who are looking to come at your university or Canada in general?
Mm. Yeah, in Canada in general, I would say right now the rules has been changed, so people can work more than 20 hours. So I would recommend to not to do more part time work rather than focus on your studies, because this is the part time thing, and what 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 is important to you is a full time thing. So I would say instead focus towards your study and get good score, and Dalhousie doesn't teach you I mean doesn't I would say implies you or suggests you to do lead code, but if you get a chance, so just do, I would say, lead code whenever you get a time, get a time. So whenever, I mean, one term before internship, start your lead code journey and complete at least, I would say, 100 150 or 200 questions of lead code. Then I think you'll be good to get a
I think
good
that's
job. Yeah.
that's great advice because people usually forget this part of full-time offers that they need to.
Because in university they will never tell you to do lead
Yeah,
code, because
yeah. Those subjects don't teach you lead code, and I think most interviews just ask you about lead code and the basic DS algos.
yeah.
Yeah. So it was
So,
nice talking to you today, Harit. Thank
yeah,
you so
but
much for your time.
thank you so much. You have a nice day too.
You too. Bye bye.